every family deserves to have a winner, I think it should be you. But you also have to disconnect from the belly button of average and plug yourself into the mindset of a winner, which is a winner does more than expected every single time, no matter how they feel, no matter the circumstances.
We are in control of our momentum. If you are in a terrible place right now, if your life sucks right now, and you're waiting around for things to get better, that's not what you should be doing. You need to take action, the things that are in your control. You need to execute on those in a positive manner, and that's the key to avoiding these ups and downs.
Fuck your tired body, fuck that unmotivated mind, and get out there and do it anyway. You better fight yourself, because you're not only winning when things are going your way. You got to figure out how to win when things aren't going your way.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
I hate to break this to you, I really do. The world doesn't care what you did, it only cares what you're doing now.
You cannot erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around. Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stands.
If you quit now, you're gonna fucking be a loser your entire life. That's it. We don't get what we always want. And to get what we always want, we have to be so much better that it's unquestionable.
You don't start things and not finish them. You don't quit. There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're gonna do it to try and be the best.
You're going to go through this pain. You're going to go through the suffering. How are you going to choose to show up?
That's why I even try and tell people that just embrace the struggle, bro, because one day it's going to be done. I look back on them times and actually somehow miss them still.
The bad days create the story that I'm one day going to tell myself about what I got through. Without the bad days, the story would be way more lame. There would be no glory in overcoming anything, because what did you overcome?
When you're going through something really challenging, how do you show up within it? Do you choose to become a victim of complaining and misery or do you find meaning in how you show up in the suffering?
When you find yourself in a really bad place in life, normally you didn't get there overnight, and you're not going to get out overnight. I got myself into that situation by how I looked at things and how I handled things. So it was on me. I'm not blaming the rest of the world. And I think that's the first place you got to get. Yes, you got to say, what are my decisions that has got me in this mess? And so what decision am I going to make to start getting me out of this mess? It doesn't do any good to blame everybody around you for whatever situation you're in.
It's up to you. The ball's in your court. No more around. You want your life to be better? I can't help you. Lee can't help you. Joe Rogan can't help you. Ari can't help you. God can't fucking help you. Only you can fucking help you. Grab your fucking balls, get a fucking notebook, and write down what the fuck you're gonna do this year.
Go do something that's hard. Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail. I'll tell you what, you'll be better.
The hardest things are usually the best. If it's easy, leave it to somebody else.
Do you know that the harder thing to do and the right thing to do are usually the same thing? Nothing that has meaning is easy.
Nothing is easy, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes.
If you want some kind of a good outcome, you're going to have to work hard for it. And if you don't work hard for something, you're not going to get an outcome that's really worth much.
To get anything of value, you have to sacrifice.
Be selfish for the next 3 years. Go get yourself strong. Go put your own oxygen mask on. Put some money in the bank. Crush your company. Be selfish with your time. Be selfish with your income. Be greedy on the amount of money you want to make. I'm telling you, be greedy, be selfish. You know why? Because if you go all in, if you stop thinking, I wish I could do more, be more, go all in and make the money, get secure and put your oxygen mask on, and what you can do in 5 years from now, what you can do in 7 years from now, what you could do in 12 years from now is unbelievable.
Is there any better feeling than being locked in?
No.
14 days, 13 days, whatever the hell it is, don't mean nothing. Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts.
The confidence comes from preparation. When I'm prepared, I know what I'm capable of doing, I know what I'm comfortable doing, and I know what I'm not comfortable doing. Right? And so in those moments, if it looks like I'm ice cold or not nervous, it's because I've done it thousands of times before. And so it's one more time.
Everybody's great when they're not tired. The champions is when they tired, that's when the real champions come out. That's when a real dog come out.
If you wanna give up, you can give up. This is your choice. You can do whatever you want. Your time's gonna come, but you cannot give up.
Part of life is about getting hurt, about failing and getting back up and dealing with adversity and setbacks and realizing that what you thought was a short path is actually going to be the long path to success, and you're going to have to take that journey if you really want it.
You're gonna have days where you don't want to do anything. You're gonna have days where getting out of bed is the hardest motherfucking thing you ever did in your life. You gotta get the fuck up and you gotta get in the fucking fight.
The more risk you take, the luckier you get.
Take the biggest fucking risks of your entire life right now.
People need to learn to take one big risk a day. Every day take a risk and build up that risk muscle, because risk is where success comes.
I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it! Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
Why would you not go for it? Why would you not take a chance? At one point in time, you got to take a chance on you.
It takes more effort to start in the beginning, and more people are right about the fact they're like, hey, you're not going to hit it big. And guess what? A month in, you're not. But they're only measuring on months. And every day that you haven't hit it, they're going to feel like they were right. But they're wrong, because they're measuring in days and you're measuring in decades.
Every day when you get out of bed, life's standing right there to kick you in the fucking face, man. Life is going to throw all kinds of crazy shit at you, right? And you have to be ready for it, and you got to fucking deal with it. You can't curl up into a ball. You can't run away from it. You can't hide. You have to take all this shit head on.
You better go out there and do it yourself. You know, don't fucking wait around and wait for someone to hand deliver something. Go make it happen. You know, the fish don't just jump in the boat. If you want to go catch them, go catch them. You know, throw that line in the water and go do some work. And if it doesn't work that day, do it again the next day.
Right now, every single one of you out there have exactly what you deserve. You might think that life is unfair. You might think that life dealt you a bad hand, but I'm here to tell you, life will give you exactly what you tolerate. And if you've been tolerating mediocrity, you've been tolerating average, you've been tolerating this victim mentality that you're carrying, then guess what? You have exactly what you deserve.
Nobody cares, you know? At the end of the day, nobody cares. What we're going through, how your body feels, nobody cares. We gotta do our job.
You have to be like all in. And if you're not all in, you're gonna get beat up in front of loads of people. That's just the way it goes.
Life is tough sometimes, and it's not fair. And it doesn't care sometimes. But you're gonna hold true to what you believe, and you're gonna hold true to who you are, and you're gonna be that person whether it's easy or it's not.
What I've learned is to always keep going. Always. And I've come to find out is that, you know, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready.
Impossible is nothing to somebody that tries. Everything that someone said was impossible has happened.
A fight is not a fight until there's resistance, until there's something to overcome. Otherwise, it's just an athletic venture. It's an exhibition. You're not in a fight until there's pressure, resistance, overcoming something.
I want to be like all in. If it doesn't work, but at least I can look back and be like, you tried your best. And that's all that anybody can ever ask, is that you tried your best. I want to tick every single box so that in 5 years or 10 years, I can look back and go, look, you tried your best. Yeah. And that's all I can do.
Nothing is easy. Like running is running. It sucks, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes. But when you put that practice in every day, you lace them up, pretty soon you win. Pretty soon you'll win.
I think success in fighting in life is about desire and the will. How bad do you want it? Is it worth dying for? That's the true greatness, is the willingness to die. So is this thing worth greatness?
99% of people in the world are convinced that they are incapable of achieving great things, so they aim for the mediocre. If you are insecure, guess what? The rest of the world is too. Do not overestimate the competition and underestimate yourself. You are better than you think.
When I seen that Bentley at the boxing gym, and I seen that diamond Rolex, I said, I want that. And I knew what it took. So I know when my opponent is asleep, I'm out there at 4 or 5 in the morning, chopping trees, working, to this day. Because I can retire today. I'm well off, very comfortable. But I got the will to win. I knew I wanted to be champion. And is the dream over? Absolutely not.
It is so easy to beat people today. They are so soft. They have no work ethic. No one can stick with anything. Everyone's distracted. They're on social media. They're counting their fucking notifications because they can't stick with shit. They can't say no.
The world belongs to optimists because if you're going to do anything big, you have to believe that it can happen. Otherwise, it never will.
You gotta work. Your time is gonna happen. You're here for a reason, but you gotta be ready, because if you're not, it's on you.
Every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through, and it's the lonely chapter.
Just keep stacking days. Just keep stacking days. As long as you keep stacking days, I promise you, you will see the change. But my coach used to always say, everything that you want is on the other side of hard.
Because as long as you have breath in your lungs, as long as your heart is beating, as long as you have consciousness in your mind, you can go and rewrite the story of how your life ends and how your life continues from this day forward, the legacy that you live.
But we have to start taking responsibility for ourselves.
Take ownership. Take extreme ownership.
We have to stop putting it off and making excuses for why we aren't where we want to be.
Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing.
If you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself.
Take ownership of your mistakes, take ownership of your shortfalls, take ownership of your problems, and then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved.
Nothing's ever gonna be given to you. Everything's gonna be earned. If you don't go out there and put in the work, you don't go out and put in the effort, one, you're not gonna get the results.
You don't have to have a belt to be a champion in my eyes. To get something, you have to sacrifice something. And what I did, I put everything aside, my whole life.
The people who are obsessed are the ones who change the world, at least change their world. He said, you know the difference between champions and everyone else? And I was like, what? And he said, everyone always looks at them and says, what do champions have that I don't have? He said, it's what do champions not have that I have? It's what do they lack? And it's an off button. They just don't stop. Everything in their life is geared towards one goal, and they approach everything in their life that way.
Athletes who turn up to compete, they put a bit more effort in. They try to be the best amongst their group. Then there's the athletes who train to win. They train every day, every session, so that they win on match night. And then there are just those very few players who train to dominate. They train so hard that winning is inevitable.
I truly believe that if you work hard enough at something, I don't care what it is, that you can really become an expert. You can become great.
But it doesn't just happen overnight. You have to be rubbish. And you have to have people laugh at you. And you have to have people go, oh, go on, get a real job. No, this isn't really going to work. You have to, and you just have to have belief that eventually it is going to get better.
If you're in a bad position, you feel like you can't win, stay strong, stand up, keep your chin up and walk. Don't panic. Never panic.
You learn nothing from success. Nothing. You learn everything from the failures. And this is the thing that annoys me about the state that the world is in at the moment is no one talks about failure anymore. Whereas with success, everyone shouts about it, but there's nothing in success. Success happens from failing hundreds of times.
I didn't teach myself victory first. I taught myself failure. I taught myself how to fail. And people are like, that's so depressing. Is it? When you're 300 pounds and you can't read and write and you're f***ed up, you know how many times you're gonna f***ing fail on that process? So if you don't know how to fail, there is no victory.
Every day that you don't do work, you're going backwards. And it definitely will hurt you, and it'll show up.
You can be the most talented, the smartest, the best educated person with the most valuable contacts and all the advantages in life, but if you are not focused, it doesn't do you any good at all.
You have no fucking idea how great you really are, because you are using such minimal of what you have.
If you do not have clear, specific goals for your life, you are doomed forever to work for people who do.
One of the strongest mental frames that has got me through my hardest times is thinking this will be the story that I will one day tell.
If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
Oh, you got to set realistic goals and take small little actions, and you know, they don't understand it because they've never built anything of any sizable nature. If you want to be excellent and you want to build something huge and you want to have a big life and you want to make a lot of money, you better set some big goals and follow it up with some big actions.
And I think a lot of it is coming down to making sure that you take the few precious seconds that we have to do the few things that are worth doing for the rest of your life.
Unchosen suffering is going to happen, right? So the only thing that you can do is have some chosen suffering to prepare for it.
It's the only thing you can do. That's the only thing you can practice for the unchosen suffering. Do something that sucks every day. Hard work looks horrible. It's not motivating. It's not motivating at all. It ain't like Rocky round 14 where he gets knocked down and goes like this to Apollo Creed. It looks like a man being stuck in a fucking dungeon and there's no way out.
Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression, later in life ain't gonna be anything different.
People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a motherfucker that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday, and I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the f*** after it every daggone day.
I would always say, what would I tell my future son? Because if I can't tell him to get through adversity right now, if I can't tell him to keep pushing through, if I don't live that, if I don't live through that, how am I gonna ever give him genuine advice one day to get through it on his own? So you gotta think, man, like sometimes you go through things and you don't know the reason at first, but it's not for right now. It's to help someone later, like your son or your daughter. Sometimes you're living through the toughest thing ever and you don't know why it's happening to you. But sometimes, guys, it's bigger than what you can even see right now. Sometimes your son gonna be looking you in the eye and say, Dad, how do I get through this? And then what are you gonna tell him when you quit before? What are you gonna tell him when you took shortcuts? That's the point, man. There's so much stuff that's bigger than you right now that you're going through for a bigger purpose than you can even imagine.
The man who never fell has no glory. The man who fell and got back up, that's where his glory is. The man who fell 20 times and got up 21 times, that man has even greater glory. Wow. That man has more courage, way more courage than the guy who was so strong from birth that he never failed.
Move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. And you may be successful and you may not be successful, but you will be better.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen, no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up, no matter what.
Anything in life that you put your mind to, you can do. The world is your oyster. That's all I tell people. It's this and it's heaven. While you're on earth, you got to take advantage of this.
We're all looking for this golden purpose. Is it this? Is it that? Is it making money? Is it my family? The purpose is you. We forget that. Every fucking day I wake up and I don't want to do some fucking shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a bitch today? Do you want to feel like a little bitch? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? So it's perform without purpose. You have to learn how to get up and do when you ain't got no fucking 5K, no 10K, nothing. Nothing exists. Your life fucking sucks. You're in the fucking dungeon. But guess what? I'm still going to get it. Because when that time comes, because the time is going to come, when that purpose is there, you'll be ready.
I just cracked one day and I was like, fuck happiness. Because it felt so out of reach that I was like, just fuck it. I'm not even gonna shoot for it. I'm just gonna do stuff.
Am I happy? I don't know. Never really thought about it. Don't really care about it. Because all I really cared about was when I looked in that fucking mirror, I saw a piece of shit. Happiness wasn't on the mirror at 16 or when I was 300 pounds. It wasn't like, oh my, I'm looking for happiness. No, I'm looking at myself in the mirror and say, all right, you did it again today. You're a bad boy. Because that shit sucks.
When you're the absolute best, you get hated on the most. But never stop fighting. No matter what anyone says, no matter how they try to compromise you, compromise your vision. If it's in your gut, if it's in your soul, there's no worldly possessions that should come between you and your expression. Death is promised. So what do you do with your life? How do you make the most of it?
Whenever you try to do something out of the ordinary, people will line up to tell you that you can't do it, why you can't do it, that you'll lose your time, you'll lose your money, that you will in effect die in the desert. Even people who should know better will try to discourage you.
And I think that was the flip that I've had repeatedly shown to me in my life that allowed me to take the step that I was afraid to take.
To achieve anything greater worthwhile, you must train yourself to rise above these people, ignoring them and pressing on towards your goal regardless.
The best in the world are not the best because they win every point. It's because they know they'll lose again and again and have learned how to deal with it. You want to become a master at overcoming hard moments. That is, to me, the sign of a champion. You accept it, cry it out if you need to, and then force a smile. You move on, be relentless, adapt and grow, work harder, work smarter. Remember, work smarter.
I have led a toothless life. I have never bitten into anything. I was waiting. I was reserving myself for later on, and I have just noticed that my teeth have gone.
A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start, but don't realize that starting is the perfect condition.
If you avoid those things that are hard, if you don't accept that challenge, if you don't step up and step into that cold water, and you sit on your couch and eat Doritos, I can tell you this is not a good move. This is not a good move.
But when you're pursuing your destiny, you have to be selfish, you have to be maniacal, you have to be uncompromising. It don't matter how up that might look. It don't matter how much it feel like it ain't gonna work.
Delusional.
Complete delusion. You gotta believe the delusion because it's only delusional until it works. So is it really delusional?
Almost all of the people around you who have parts of their life that they're not happy about are kind of making a choice for it to be that way. That means that all of the things I don't like about me and I don't like about my life are my responsibility because I can change it.
If you go visit the darkness that you've been running from, you'll have the opportunity to leave a better person.
I tell young men, it's like, find something difficult to do. You need that. You're not built for comfort or pleasure. Like if that comes along, good. You know, if you have a day where you're comfortable and there's some things around you that give pleasure, have some sense and enjoy it. But don't be thinking that's what your life is aimed at.
Taking full accountability for your life with all of the deficiencies that you have may be the most painful thing that you do when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is my fault. But in saying, this is my fault, those are also the first 2 steps of progress, because it's my fault, not anyone else's, which means it's my responsibility and my action that can change that.
If you only did what you were supposed to do when you were motivated to do it, that's leaving it to chance. But if you're disciplined, you go do what you're supposed to do.
Have to build a person that can withstand the pressures of whatever they're going to be dealing with in life.
I am the only one paying the price. I am the only one doing what's required. Everybody else is sitting at home eating Doritos, and I am out here in the snow getting better. How can you not be excited about that?
My brain can feel a certain way, but it's not going to choose how I behave all the time. I just can't let it do it anymore. I'm going to have setbacks, I know. But if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action. Because yeah, nothing changes and nothing changes, man.
How many times do you have to hear, if nothing changes, nothing changes? And yet somehow we expect things to change. If you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change.
People talk about triple down on your fucking strengths.
Right.
That's the fucking weakest shit in the world. No, triple down on your fucking weaknesses.
Yeah.
Find out something about yourself. You don't need no one to tell you how to get through. It's happy.
Right.
That's easy shit.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you how you can help yourself get through the times that suck. Real life. This is real life. 90% of your life will suck. 10% will be fucking happy. You may be a lucky guy and have a lot of fucking money, have a great ass woman, all this shit. Trust me, one-on-one with that fucking guy, he's missing something. His life still sucks because he hasn't faced something that bothered him his whole fucking life. Something is still eating that motherfucker up.
Almost everybody.
Everybody.
Resolve says I will. 2 of the most powerful words in the language. I will. Nothing can resist a human will. That will stake even its existence on the extent of its purpose. The world has a strange way of stepping aside when somebody says, I'll do it or die. The man says, I will climb the mountain. They've told me it's too high, it's too far, it's too rocky, it's too difficult, it's never been done before, but it's my mountain, I will climb it. Pretty soon you'll see me waving from the top. Or dead on the side, because I ain't coming back.
The point is that there's some games you don't get to play unless you're all in. And the other thing that's so interesting about being alive is that you're all in. No matter what you do, you're all in. This is going to kill you. So I think you might as well play the most magnificent game you can while you're waiting.
You gotta be selfish. I don't give a fuck. It's the sacrifice, but without great sacrifice and without great risk, there is no such thing as great reward.
A blade does not become strong. It does not become tempered until it's been through the fire several times. And this is just your first or second time through the fire. And there's a lot of hammer work that has to take place. And then you're going to have to go back in the forge again. And it's hot, and it melts you down, and you're uncomfortable. And then life is going to pull you out, and it's going to put you on the anvil, and it's going to hammer on you some more. And you're going to say, what, am I done yet? Am I a sword for the ages? No. No, you're not. You're not done yet. And don't look for what you are supposed to be fully, completely polished, sharpened, edged, tempered at 26 or 36, at 46. You've got a lot more forge time left. You've got a lot more hammer blows left, and it takes time. But if you will patiently embrace the process, then by the time you get up in years, you can be a man that you're proud of.
Only the disciplined ones are free in life.
If you are in discipline, you are a slave to your moods.
When your excuses make you feel a little bit better about the fact that you didn't execute on what you needed to execute on, then they can make you feel better, but they're not helping you.
Everything worthwhile is uphill. You see, every dream that you've ever had, it's all uphill. If you have a great relationship with somebody, you had to work on it. It's uphill. If you've built a wonderful business, guess what? It was uphill. If you've made the right decisions, they're not easy, are they? It's uphill. And the only way that you can go uphill is to be intentional. Nobody ever accidentally went uphill. You've never talked to a successful person and said, how did you get to the top of the mountain? And then look at you and say, I have no idea. If they're at the top of the mountain, they know how they got there. Because they had to have effort. It took energy. It took time.
It's easy to give up. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going. But what's hard is going, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
Sometimes life can really hijack your mind. When that happens to you, you're all f***ed up. Your goals, your ambitions, everything is out the window. In life, we all go through different things. Sometimes your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you. Guess what? Get the fuck over it. They no longer want you. Maybe you failed a test in school. You worked your ass off. Guess what? You failed the fucking test. Get over it. Move past it. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours.
It is astounding how many people want to be spectacular in life but also want to fit in and be normal. Like, by being normal, you are, by definition, aiming for average. Normal people get normal results. Weird people get weird results. You literally can't do what everyone else does and not expect to get what everyone else has.
One of my green flags for intellect is someone being able to say that they don't know. Not knowing is really powerful because then learning becomes the only clear directive.
Fire's coming. Are you ready for the fire? We're firemen. Okay. We are firemen! The heat doesn't bother us. We live in the heat. We train in the heat. Yeah, let's go.
Once you change one thing, your mindset, you can attack everything.
Having a clue is overrated. There's this funny myth that people actually know what they're doing. I've spent time around some of the richest, smartest, highest status people on the planet, and let me tell you, it's idiots all the way up. Normalize saying, I don't have a clue, I'm going to work out how to do it anyway.
Workout's done, you paid your f***ing dues. You're that much closer to becoming that person you always knew you could be. I mean, isn't it about time you do that? Isn't it about time you become that person you knew you always could be? How do you do that? You break the f***ing mold, guys. You get the fuck out of bed when it's cold, when it's early. You do something away from the normality of what you've been doing. That's psychotic behavior. Doing the same thing, expecting a different result doesn't work that way. You must switch up the mainframe.
Just doing it makes you do more. Like, do more hard shit makes you do more hard shit. Yeah. Understand that you want it bad, so you're willing to put into work and do things you don't want to do. It's what makes you have the confidence that you know how to push through, and the mentality that I'm the type of dude to get done.
You can make a million excuses why you didn't get that raise, why you didn't take that leap of faith. You can make a million excuses, but you know deep down inside, and consciousness is eating away at you, that it's an excuse. It's not a reason, it's an excuse. Stop making excuses. And when you stop making excuses, the only alternative is then results.
You are one decision, one relationship, one thought, one emotion, one meeting away from a completely different life. And unless you believe, first off, I'm right about that, it's true. But unless you believe that, and then you program your reticular activating system in your brain to find those things, you will never have them happen to you. But if you begin to believe, I'm one meeting away from a different life, I'm one decision away, I'm one podcast away.
One of my friends, Alex, has got this quote which I love, and he says, the heaviest things in life aren't iron and gold, but unmade decisions. The reason you are stressed is that you have decisions to make, and you're not making them.
Ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started.
Nothing is permanent. And a lot of times you have to learn to perform without motivation.
You want to be the one that says, "And I'm going to do it anyway. I know I don't feel good today, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to prove to myself that even on days that it doesn't feel right, I push myself." The only way to gain confidence in yourself is to build something.
I always figured that why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try and win? There's really no point in even going. That's the attitude I've had my entire life, and that's the attitude I will always have. As I would explain to my dad, second sucks, and third's even worse. That's just a feeling.
But on tour, that's not too bad sometimes, though.
That's not too bad, but I want to win. That's just my nature.
We make choices every day. If you decide to be rich today, who gonna stop you? Who? If you decide you want to be rich, all you gotta do is start.
I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
The more you do right, the more you can do. So if you're working hard at something and you're starting to feel like it's getting a bit too much, the pressure's a bit too much, you carry on doing it, you're gonna come out of it. It's not like you're just gonna end. Nothing ends. You just figure out different ways to actually make it successful, or something will work and you'll be like, oh, then your energy goes back up.
I go to all these conventions, speak all the time. I look in the audience and these people sign up, and every year to go to a convention, thinking they're gonna learn something fucking different. No, you're lazy, you know exactly what to do. Because even me, in my state of, I can't read and write, I knew exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to do it.
If people are succeeding, even slightly, in a job that they hate, think about how good you could be if it was something that you really, really cared about.
Right.
Think about how amazing you could be if you pursued something that you genuinely had existential simpatico with.
Right.
As opposed to something that you detest.
If you have to ask how to get motivated to go to the gym, you don't need to be going to the gym. You don't want it enough.
Maybe you're a piece of shit. Maybe you want to be nobody. Maybe you're happy exactly where you are in life, because obviously you are. Maybe you don't have the determination to be somebody better than who you are.
People that have no problem showing up to the gym are the people that want to be there.
You have to want it. You have to want to be better.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start.
That pain you feel, that's the pain of success. You must be willing to shoulder that pain to get to success. Success is something that's a very lonely path in this world, because few are willing to make that down payment of pain for that future of success, a better life. Very few are, because we don't want to be normal. Normality is what weak people call living. I call it death.
Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything.
But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment.
Do the best you can. These are years that you can't get back. Saddest thing in life is wasted talent, guys.
I'm not talented. It was life and death. Either you live or you die. Which one do you want, Tom? That was the decision. If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even yourself. To do anything successfully in life, you've got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. And if you want it that bad, if you're willing to give it that much, you get a big piece of what you want.
No good story happens from things going right. My granddad always said this: the greatest gifts in life are not in the plans, they're in the detours. There is no way I could plan my way to being on the stage. I have failed a lot more and a lot longer than I have succeeded. I didn't originally get the role in Top Gun that I auditioned for, and it's worked out better than I could have ever even imagined. So if you want your life to be a great story, like a great movie, when you go out there and things inevitably don't go according to plan, just remember, that's when your movie's plot is just getting interesting. That's when your protagonist is being tested. That's when the writers are working overtime to give the audience some nail-biting drama. Enjoy things not going according to plan. If you knew the ending, it wouldn't be worth the watch.